Let's get right down to it. Vanderpump Rules Reunion, Part 1, tonight. I had to get a few things off of my chest. Now, let me just be extremely clear about this. The things that I will be talking about today occurred allegedly. The things that I will be talking about today are, in my opinion. I've got a few conspiracy theories, and I thought it was very important to voice them before we all get to watching the reunion tonight. Number one, did anybody read the article 2 years ago in the Daily Beast? I made a few notes here. It was called The Slow and Painful Death of Vanderpump Rules. Yeah, pretty harsh, but not wrong. And it was a very compelling article, actually. It was a little essay about reality TV and what we want to see, what we don't want to see, and how basically Vanderpump Rules was just dying a very slow and painful death in 2021, and I do agree that it was, because it's sort of who really needs to see yet another cast member purchase Montecito Farms house in Valley Glen or in Valley Village with a pool and have one baby and have 2 dogs and have a podcast, and really, do we really need to see that? It was fun when we were watching them, struggle in their awful little Hollywood apartments. It was something to think like, let's watch them. Let's watch and see the struggle. Because we all have our struggles. We like to watch other people struggle as well. That's what we humans do. Anyway, this article came out. It was written by somebody named Louis Staples. Again, it was a really good article. And they mentioned that when Vanderpump started, it was one of Bravo's most popular shows with over 2 million viewers. And at that low ebb where it was dying, its painful, very painful death, it had less than 550,000 viewers. Okay. That's where my conspiracy theory begins. These are not stupid people at all. They're smart enough to keep themselves on a reality TV show for 9 years that is dying, and they managed to do it. So they read an article like this, and then what do you think they think? They think, how do we save this? This is our job. This is how we're paying for our black and white farmhouses in Valley Village. This is how we're going to afford that 1 child and the 2 dogs. This is how I'm going to be able to keep doing the luxurious job of podcasting for the rest of my life and maybe writing a book. How do we keep this going? So I believe, again, my opinion, I believe that they all got around a round table. They're very good friends. I mean, I do believe that. And they said, how do we save our sinking ship? Again, my opinion, and I believe that they came up with this. Now, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I know this, because you're going to say, oh, you're invalidating Ariana's feelings. This is terrible. How could you do this? These are real people. Yes, they're real people on a reality show that have had to script certain events in their lives and redo them and rehearse them and refilm them. They have a completely skewed existence now of what's real, what's for the camera, where that gray area is. I don't think it's that far-fetched to think that they sat down and said, how do we save our sinking ship? What is the worst thing that you can think of? Which, come on, everybody think. And then somebody comes up with, Ariana and Tom, their relationship isn't really going anywhere. They haven't been intimate for a long time. Tom seems to want to have a family. Ariana doesn't. They're kind of keeping up appearances. We can sacrifice them. We'll sacrifice them. James and Raquel are over. Raquel is a free agent. Here's a great storyline. Here is a great storyline. And it sure effing was. Because look what's happened. It is completely blown up. And every single person, even if they're the most hated worm with a mustache, they are doing really well right now. Even if it's in a bad way. What do they always say? Bad press is better than no press at all. And you think people aren't going into that restaurant? Into Tom and Schwartz's? Of course they are. Okay, so that's my theory about what's happening here. Again, in my opinion. we'll see. We'll see how the chips fall, and we may not know anything for years. So will have to live with my opinion for a while to see what happens. But I want to also address a couple of other things. I am a native to Los Angeles. I was born on the Sunset Strip. Schwartz and Sandy's is not some strip mall in Pacoima. And if you don't know what Pacoima is, it's an area where you would have a strip mall with a cheap bar, possibly. This is a really interesting, eclectic area of Hollywood. It is at the base of the street that you take to get to the Hollywood sign. It's not some random corner. It's a really good corner, and there was a deli there for many, many years that did really well. Also, there are tons of upscale apartment buildings and condos and houses around there that have a lot of walking traffic. For people that want to go and have a few drinks and don't want to drive, you would want to have a local or neighborhood bar. So these people who are saying, oh, it's a strip mall, oh, it's this terrible, it's on a corner, it's across from a Gelson's, it's a really good location, yes. It's also across from the Scientology Celebrity Center. It's in Hollywood. It's in one of the most well-traveled parts of Hollywood. How many people don't drive down that very street to get onto the freeway? So let's dispel that right now. So that, and then I want to talk about Rachel Raquel too, just for one moment. I really felt for her this season. I really did. I felt like she has been the victim of bullying. She has been the target of the mean girls. And I was kind of excited to see her upcomings. I was excited to see that she was getting a voice, that she wasn't afraid to stand up to the other girls, ladies, women, old ladies. She wasn't afraid to stand up to everybody. And I was excited for her. And I was excited that that table was turning. And I felt that, yay, you know, that thing when you're watching a movie when someone's getting bullied and they finally get their moment, that every dog has their day moment. So I felt that for her. Now I understand that things went a little awry, and yes, some bad things may or may not have happened. Some bad things allegedly may have happened. But I wasn't sad to see that Raquel had her moment as standing up to the bullies. There was a little feeling of vindication in there for me. Again, I will probably be the most hated person in the Bravoverse for saying this, but I did. I don't know how I feel today. I think, in a way, all of these people are as despicable and or lovable as any other human are. They put their lives out there in front of us so we can be entertained. You know, that's a good job, especially when we have harder times in our lives and we want to watch something to get away and to escape. They've given us, you know, a decade of escapism, and I think we have to thank them for that. I'll wrap it up. So I just wanted to get my conspiracy theory out there, and I wanted to touch upon the fact that some of the things that people are saying about Schwartz and Sandy's, it's BS. And unless you live here in Hollywood, I would understand that you wouldn't know that if you're somewhere out in, you know, like in Orange, New Jersey, which is lovely, but you might not know that that's an absolutely acceptable corner to run a business and do commerce. It's not some, you know, it's not some suburban strip mall with a dry cleaner. Well, it actually may have a dry cleaner nearby. That's actually not true. But it's not, you know, it's not in some out in the boonies area where nobody's going to go. It's a really actually well-traveled area. Anyway, I wish all of the Vanderpumpers well, and leave a comment because I want to know if other people feel that this could all be just one big conspiracy. And if it is, would you hate them? Or would it be okay with you? For me, I'm a very forgiving person. It would be fine with me. I could go on and I could continue to watch them. Ciao.